I've always dreaded parties. Going out with friends, going to the movies, gathering, birthday party, basically everything that involves a large group of people and a lot of socialization. I'm not that shy, timid, or socially awkward. I'm just very introverted. And for a long time, I thought that I wasn't normal because I didn't enjoy going out, partying, and doing everything youngsters do. But eventually, I realized that this just wasn't for me. Social settings drain too much of my energy. And if this sounds familiar, we're probably in the same introverted boat. It's just that your social battery is slim and your social interactions are draining. You're more sensitive to stimulations and often stuck in deep thoughts. And if there's nothing wrong about being introverted, the problem is that we live in a world designed for extroverts. And it's a war for attention out there. And the spotlight usually goes to those who shout the loudest. And at some point, you might have felt that being an introvert is a flaw and that you need to be more like other people, more extroverted. Don't. Because as an introvert, you have a valuable set of skills. Your ability to focus, think critically, and reflect enables you to be creative, find solutions, and ultimately create value. And in this world, creating value means personal fulfillment, money, success, opportunities, you name it. That's if you learn how to channel your energy and manage your social interactions efficiently. And that's exactly what this video is about, giving you practical steps on how to leverage your introverted personality to win at life. Everything starts with the body. As an introvert, you spend a lot of time in your mind. Now, this can be both a superpower and a curse depending on how well you control it. The main issue is that many introverts struggle to manage their thoughts, and they often face overthinking, procrastination, repetitive negative thought patterns, and anxiety. And I used to desperately wish for an off button to pause my mind and take a mental break. The good news is that I found one and it works wonder. And if you just might buy program for 99, your off button is exercise, specifically weightlifting. I found it's the best tool by far to switch off your thinking and reconnect with your body. Because biologically speaking, introverts oftentimes have a thicker prefrontal cortex, which is basically a fancy way of saying that the part of your brain responsible for complex thinking is greater. Now, you may be telling yourself that you have a bigger brain and that's great. Yes, but it comes at a cost. This means you're more prone to deep thinking and reflection, of course, but it also means you can easily get stuck into your own head, losing focus on your body and physical sensation. Exercise, you may have tried it and did not succeed at sticking to the habit. Thinking now that exercise is not for you, you tried it, but it didn't work out. Now, trust me, as an introvert, exercise is for you. In fact, it's for everyone. But you simply didn't give it enough space and time. And at first I hated it too, but there's a big difference between not liking something and not being good at it yet. I've been confirming this theory with my coaching clients. Hypertrophy, working out for muscle growth essentially, and emphasizing on learning the mind muscle connection is the best way to channel an introverted mind into his body. Now you need to get something out of your mind. The gym is not just about becoming a ferocious bodybuilder. It's about learning to use your body into space and pushing yourself a little more each time. More importantly, this practice forces you to reconnect with your body, which is exactly what we want. You must focus on using specific muscle groups and mastering a good technique to lift a weight. And if you're still skeptical, I assure you that this is a cheat code that helps regulate overthinking and procrastination. Now, the benefits are even better because if done properly, lifting weight and focusing on hypertrophy will not help you reconnect with your mind, reconnect with your body, but obviously shape your physique, improve your confidence, health, mental health, mood, lifespan, motivation, you name it. And over time, this will transfer to your mind as well because as you exercise, your mind will become lighter, more organized, less cluttered, and sharper at everything that you do. This is why, in my opinion, physical exercise, especially weightlifting, is a non-negotiable for introverts who seek to become the best version of themselves. Learning to focus on the one thing. Because you're designed for deep thinking, you're prone to get caught in mental loops and distractions more easily. Now, whether it's a school work or in daily life, your mind will be the biggest distraction, constantly projecting mental scenarios that keep looping. Now, to leverage your ability to think in different complexity layers, we have to learn how to channel your thinking. And the first thing that you have to do is to build an optimal focus space for yourself. Introverts are highly sensitive to stimulation. Neurologically speaking, the theory is that your brain is more sensitive to dopamine than the brain of extroverted people. And if a little activation is good, too much quickly becomes overwhelming. This is why you may not be feeling comfortable in an open space office setting where people are, speaking on the phone and you hear the sound of the elevator every 2 minutes, and Kathy from accounting is chewing her gum out loud and that bothers you. Yeah, I'm speaking from experience. As an introvert, your brain focuses way better on a calm but very focused mental state. All of this science geeky stuff to tell you that you want to reduce or even eliminate the number of distractions around you when you want to go into a deep work state. You need to find your own conditions for optimal concentration. You have to find what works for you. But to give you an example, here's what works for me. My deep work protocol is to close the door, put my phone in another room, disable email notification, use noise canceling headphones, have a clear list of tasks, and it's 2 to 3 hours of focused work sessions. Whether your goal is to succeed at school, build a business, or just improve at your job, you'll need to learn how to focus on one thing at a time. It may be harder for you than it is for other people. Unfair, but once you master it, you'll become a superhuman. Because cultivating the skill, focusing on one task, let you leverage your deep thinking capacity as an introvert. You need to learn how to cultivate your strong points as an introvert, and you will increase the gap between you and other people. Now, how to navigate your social environment. Being an introvert doesn't mean that you dislike people, that you dislike social interactions, that you don't need them, or that you're destined to be bad at them. None of those things are true. However, what is true is that they tend to cost you more energy, whereas for extroverted people, they are gaining energy from social interactions. Now, since interactions are draining your energy, you may have fewer of them, resulting in less social practice. Now, you couple that with a predisposition to feel overwhelmed in highly stimulating settings, and this is the perfect recipe for social anxiety. And to avoid that, the first thing that you have to know is your stimulation limit. What is the threshold? Because if loud music, drunk people, and flashing lights are overwhelming for you, maybe going out to the club to bounce a bottle of champagne or whatever that they're doing over there, it's not the best idea. You have a stimulation threshold, and exceeding this will trigger anxiety. And while a little anxiety can be useful, in fact, it is useful, too much will deplete your energy and willpower. No, I made another whole video about willpower depletion, and I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in that. And the last thing that you need to be aware of is peer pressure. Because when you tend to have less social skills and lower self-confidence, you might be easily influenced. Just put that in the back of your mind and let it sink for a little bit. Now, here's your toolkit to navigate your social interaction and not fall for social traps. First one is to go to the gym. This is extremely beneficial, especially for introverts. The gym is a social environment where everyone's focused on their own thing. This allows you to make connections, shape your body, and channel your mind into your body. All of that while exposing yourself to social contacts. It will force you to take a break from your mind, work on social skills, and all of that while building your health and self-confidence. If there's a life hack for introverts, this is it. I guarantee it. Now, the second thing is to pay more attention to other people. People, especially extroverted people, will tell you everything that you need to know, verbally and non-verbally. Truly listen to what they're saying. Pay attention to their words and the meaning behind them. The explicit message is not always the most important thing. This will give your brain social cues that it needs to navigate through social interactions. Now, focusing on one-on-one interactions is more important because you'd be able to effectively work on your social skills without being overstimulated from too many social cues when you have a lot of people in a group setting. That's the precise reason why I do only one-on-one coaching, by the way. And if you have a hard time socializing, it's important that you work on developing your social skills. Make it a daily exercise. Make it intentional. Third one is to not get fixated on inner sensations. If you easily feel socially anxious and uneasy, you need to learn to switch your mental focus. If you keep narrowing your attention onto your elevated heart rate when you step in the locker room, this is going to worsen it. Instead, change the focus of your attention. Stop focusing heavily on yourself and pay attention to what's around you. Building the mind muscle connection in the gym will help you a lot, being able to relocate your focus. Again, gym cheat code. Optimize your recovery. Knowing your stimulation tolerance helps prevent depletion of energy, attention, and self control. After reaching your social limit, you need to rest physically and mentally to return back to baseline. Now, if you're very introverted, like yours truly, it doesn't take much to have your load of social interactions for the day. And you want to optimize the recovery by using what I call useful distractions. Reading, watching documentaries, or listening to podcasts is what works for me. Focus on long form of quality content, but again, find what works for you. And I highly suggest staying away from the scrolling and the empty social media content because it's too much of a fast distraction. And I found that to be very counterproductive. You need something that calms your brain, not stimulate it even more. So let me know what you thought about this video in the comments, what you'd like to see as a future subject. And as always, I hope this helps. Just trust the process.